It's time for bookkeeping, beer, and BS.
But man, Michael, when you guys used to budget in the franchise world, did you guys look at it based on historicals? Did you say, who cares what we used to do? Here's what we need to do. How did you marry the two of those things?
No, really good question. So for years, I've taught that when you build a budget, you have a sales goal. And rookies, people that don't do it a lot, they forget the seasonality of their business. Now, janitorial, house cleaning doesn't have the seasonality effect that exterior cleaning or pest control or landscaping does. So you have to take into account with that. And throughout my entire career of doing this, I see people in their first time, they just forget the seasonal aspect. July, August, September, you're going to have those 6 weeks of doom as an exterior cleaning company. That's your primary audience. And they just forget, like, oh yeah, we're not going to dip in those months. This year, we're going to do it totally different. And as you do this 3-4 years in advance, you start to actually plan for that more accurately. But your sales goal is where everything starts, right? Your sales goal is supported by 3 pillars. Customers, you have an average ticket, and you're going to assume that your average ticket is going to be the same unless you increase your price or add or remove a service. You have your equipment, the services you provide. If you're going to add the service, adding the equipment, whatever it could be. And then finally, you have your personnel, what seats you have in your bus and who's sitting on them. So a sales goal means nothing until you know how many customers you need to have, what bodies you need to have, and what equipment you need to have to get the work done. So that's really how I attack it, so that you can think of it more holistically. And as you move down, it gets more granular, it gets more specific. Like, when do we hire the people? When do we buy the equipment? When do we equip the vehicles to be sure that we're doing it? When do we do our marketing? That's a huge one. I'm sure we'll talk about that later, but you can't just make a sales goal up and plug in $100,000, $10,000, in 10 months or whatever it could be. It just doesn't work like that.
I was going to say there's the challenge that a lot of people have where I shouldn't say a lot of people. There's people that are drawn to feeling like they accomplished something because they said it was going to happen. Mm-hmm. And they get like a dopamine impact from saying, I'm going to do this much in sales. And they get the effect that they wanted, which is they feel good about themselves, but then they do nothing to get it, right? They don't
absolutely, yeah.
They just say they're going to get there. And so I built this budget sheet to help them get to the next level, which is like, that's cool. And you do need to say you're going to get somewhere. Like, if you don't say you're going to get anywhere and you don't even have a plan, maybe that number is 500,000 or that number is $1 million or wherever you want to get to. For me in Minneapolis, window cleaning, I want to get to $1 million next year. We're scraping it, and then like something always throws us off, and we just got to overcome that, like the excuse that happens every year of like, we just missed that thing, and if we would have got that right, we would have got to $1 million, whatever it is. So like, that's my big thing, is I want to get to $1 million in that business. But just because I said I want to get to $1 million isn't going to do shit to actually help me get to $1 million. Like, I got to know how I'm going to get there. I got to know how many repeat clients I need to get, what I need to spend on marketing to get there, how many more trucks I need, and how many guys I'm going to need to get there. So like, all of that comes together, but it all starts with sales, right? You just got to have that plan to get to the sales, and then you kind of build off the rest of that. It trickles all the way down. It impacts every other part of your business. So I love budgeting. I could go on about budgeting for days and days. Guys, go get that budget, yourblueskies.com. I put the link in there. I saw Nicholas Haskell's on watching. Nicholas does the garbage can, the garbage bin clean out. I might need a target budget for garbage bin cleanouts. Just another thing, just another industry to tackle with a target budget. But go get them, yourblueskies.com. There's a / target budget or something like that. But if you just go to our homepage, you'll see there's a drop down to go get the target budget. More will be coming by the end of this week. Like I said, there's 4 out there now. There's going to be more coming. And once you download it, there's videos that show you how to use like the main tab. And then there's a specific video for each tab that walks you through how to use it. You can mess with it and put in a whole bunch of different assumptions and then not use those assumptions. So you can play with it. And if you like it, then there's a button literally that, or like a drop down, you tell it to use that thing, and then it pulls it into the rest of the budget. Or you can just mess with it to see what happens, but then never not integrate it, just kind of use it as a tool. So it's just built to be super flexible. And it's free. I think Bobby said when we were on the show last week, he's like, this would be $1,000 thing. Like, if you were going to hire somebody to build you a budget spreadsheet and like help you plan for the next year, it's probably $1,000 thing.
Easy. I can't believe you're giving it away for free. I cannot believe you're giving it away for free.
I can't either.
I don't even want to know how many hours it took you to create the first version of that. Like the iteration when you did everything, you tested it all worked. And you're like, wow, it's amazing. Now it's probably easier doing the other industries because you got the framework set
I was going to say, we got the framework done. So once we did one, but in reality, it took 10 years to build it, right? Like you just like, you don't just trip over a spreadsheet and be like, oh, here's the thing. Like it took running businesses for so many years to be able to build that thing. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have given it away for free. Like in hindsight, I'm like, I should have charged $500 and it would have been a half off, like what the real value is. So anyway.
Well, now's your moment. December 31st is the last day. It's free. It's going up.
Yeah, I'm going to start charging $500 for it. And that's still going to be half off, but you better get it now.